Welcome to this edition of the Borderline Too Much Fun podcast. My name is Josh. I am the lead web designer, amongst other things, here at KZoom. And here is Matt, our SEO specialist, also amongst other things, copywriter, general manager of the office, many different titles. Today we're going to be looking at, though, how does the need for e-commerce affect web design and kind of how to integrate e-commerce into different stages of your business plan. So let's jump in.
So before we start, I would like to ask you, as an exercise, to come up with a product and kind of sketch it out and then pick an e-commerce platform to sell it on. Okay. Show me this process.
Perfect.
All right.
So I'm going to start just sketching here real quick.
Yeah. As you can see, Josh is drawing.
Okay, so first, the product. I've been cycling a lot recently in the last few weeks, and I've been feeling a little chafy, if you know what I mean. Just kind of a little sore and down there in the nether regions. And to solve that, I came up with this idea. Instead of wearing padded bike shorts, which I do have, and I wear them once in a while. But to solve that, I've come up with a product. So here, it's a little small, but I've got a bike seat. And then I would develop a product that you would clamp over the bike seat, and it would literally create some nice padding here on the thighs to help with the chafing.
Yeah.
So the whole idea is it's simple. It can clamp onto any size bike seat, and it eliminates the need for bike short padding.
Okay.
So as far as e-commerce platform, I'm going to pick Shopify, simply because I'm only going to sell it online and I want a quick startup where I don't need to customize a lot. I just want to get my product online to sell it.
Okay. Is Shopify good for multiple products, for single products?
Absolutely. Good for both.
So you can grow.
You can grow.
If you say...
Yep. And we'll get into that. I think as we jump into, the different platforms, we're going to look at the pros and cons, and we don't have time to look at all of them because there's so many e-commerce platforms, and that's kind of what I struggled with when putting this podcast together, because we could talk for hours about how many there are and what they do separately.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. So if I need to sell products online, where should I start as a business owner?
Yes, a good place to start. Ask yourself a couple of questions. Number one, do I need to sell my products in store and online, or just online? That's going to affect a couple of things. When you're looking to sell both in-store and online, and let's say you already have an inventory system set up for your in-store products and you need to move them online, it can be important just to find the right e-commerce platform that syncs with your inventory. And if you don't do that, you're obviously hurting. Another great question to ask would be, do I want to manage my store by myself, and am I a single shop owner with no employees? Or do I have, let's say, a marketing manager or someone who's well adept at, e-commerce platforms, or do I want to hire it out? So each e-commerce platform has a really, there's a broad array of different setups, and some of them allow you to customize more, which makes it a little more complicated, and some of them are super straightforward, where you just get on, input your product names, you input your store name, and it just kind of works within templates to get you a store.
Okay. So once I have my shop, once I have, my platform to decide on, what hosting platform should I use?
Good question. There are so many hosting platforms to choose from within e-commerce. I think the most important thing to ask, though, is where am I looking to grow to what level of how many products, and then how many visitors are going to be on my website. So that's going to determine kind of the hosting package that you want to go with, or that your hosting provider allows you to have. So just keep those things in mind as you're looking to grow, because oftentimes a store that gets 20,000 visits a month and has hundreds of products, the hosting plan is going to cost far more, and then obviously just having like 5 products and 20 users a month.
Yeah.
So there's a stark contrast, and there are setups, there's plans, there's hosts for all of those different levels, and there's a lot of in-between platforms as well. So there's a lot out there.
Yeah. So if I'm just starting out, what do you recommend? How do I solve this?
I think a good place to start is look at kind of what you're doing currently, and then look to where you want to grow to, and then kind of pick a platform and pick a hosting plan that will grow with you. I've seen business owners start too small and kind of put themselves into a box, and maybe they pick a platform. For instance, let's say you're looking to sell just like 2 or 3 products that you just came up with, and you pick a platform like Etsy that allows you to sell, but there's not as much like store customization. It's very hard to brand yourself on Etsy because it's
You're
just
locked into how Etsy looks.
Yeah, exactly. It's a templated, drop your products in and sell them. It's a level that's just kind of down here.
Yeah.
Let's say you start there. That kind of puts you in a box for where you want to head to. So, a much better solution for that might be something like Shopify, Square, WooCommerce, and so on. Here at KZoom, we do offer WordPress and WooCommerce integrations. That's what we specialize in. So that's certainly what we'd recommend if you're looking to grow and you want full customization of your website. But yeah.
So how do I know what the right platform to choose is for me?
That's a good question, Matt. The best way, I think, to choose a platform, once you ask yourself all of the questions we've talked about, just make sure that you are picking not based on the marketing or let's say the message that they're marketing to you. E-commerce platforms are just trying to get you to sign up for their product like everyone else.
Yeah.
But there are so many. I would caution people to make sure you're choosing the right one. We have encountered a lot of business owners who just kind of put themselves in a box early on. And let's say they started on WordPress and they realized they need to move over to Shopify. And how are they going to do that? It's going to take them a while. So when you're trying to integrate e-commerce into your business model, we'd recommend just making sure you find the right integration for you. We've talked about, there's so many, and I'd like to include a list of like all the possibilities in the show notes so people know like where to go and what to look for.
Yeah.
And we might add some pros and cons to each of those because there's just too many to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But just be, caution as you choose and sift through all the different types, and just make sure you dream big.
Always.
Dream big always.
Mm-hmm. This is Matt signing off. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely just run into customers here, anywhere, who have not prepared for the future, and I agree and would encourage them or any business owner to either research heavily or reach out and ask an expert, is this a good choice for me? Because you can very easily get locked into a decision that could cost you a lot of time or money later as you grow, which hopefully you'll grow.
It's always the hope.
Yeah. Dream big.
Dream big.
Matt, out.
Josh out.